Alright, gonna play a little Baseball Max. I decided to start a 1977 Philadelphia Phillies season replay. I have a soft spot for 77 for Strat because that was my first full season that I ever had, and I played the hell out of that 77 season on the basic side. Back then, as a kid, I was playing basic. Practically memorized those cards. So we're going to play a little Phillies baseball. Opening day against Montreal, and of course lefty Steve Carlton will be on the mound. And I believe he's facing Steve Rogers, and he is. So here are the lineups. You can read them. I'm not going to read them out and waste time, but we're going to see them as we play anyway. So let's just jump right into this game. I think Montreal actually won this game in real life. 4-3, I believe. Um, so here we go. We got to get the cards up. And we got Steve Carlton on the mound. We got Dave Cash from Montreal leading it off. And let's just play some baseball. 1977 opening day here, Philadelphia Phillies. And we got an X reading right off the bat and a base hit for Cash. He can run. Carlton's a -1 hold. Here's Foley, who can also play a little small ball and bunt. He is going to try and get a lead. And he is going. And we're throwing 70% to be safe. And Montreal right off the bat being aggressive with the steal. And there's a possible throwing error. But no throwing error on Boone, who I believe... Oh, no, wait, actually McCarver might be catching because he was Carlton's guy. So I didn't double check, but McCarver might be catching this game. Tim Foley will bat now with a runner on second, nobody out. And there's possible triple. And it's a fly out, so 1 out. Cash still at second for Ellis Valentine. And a 3-8 is a grounder to short. So that's the second out. Bring up Tony Perez here for the Expos. Part of the old Big Red Machine, of course. 3-6 and a flyout, so Carlton gets out of it. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. And we'll have Gary Maddox leading off against Steve Rogers, who was also a very good pitcher back in the 70s. 1-5, and Maddox is on, and Maddox can run. So we got Larry Boa up. Boa's a good bunter as well. Rogers is a -1 hold. Options here. Let's actually play a little small ball just to get started here and see if we can get Maddox to second. And it's successful. So runner on second with 1 out for the big boys in the Phillies lineup. Mike Schmidt, of course, the great Mike Schmidt. Batting third, runner on second, 1 out. And a 1-8 is a strikeout. So there's now 2 out for the Bull, Greg Luzinski. 2 out, runner on second. 1-6, and that's going to drive the run in. It's going to be a double or a triple, though I don't know how many triples Luzinski had. It's going to be a double, and the Phillies are going to jump out 1-0, so we decided to play a little small ball, try and get the lead for Carlton, and it works. Runner on second, 2 out now for Jay Johnstone. And a 1-9 is a strikeout, but the Phillies grabbed the early lead, 1-0. Always good to get on board first. Larry Parrish will lead it off in the second against Carlton. And 6-9 is a strikeout. 1 out. That'll bring up Gary Carter, the great Gary Carter. I tell you, this Expo team had some players. And now we got a ballpark single check here, 1-8. And a 6 is a base hit for Carter. Runner on first, 1 out for Andre Dawson. Man, this Expo team was not bad. They had some players. Especially if you got someone like Rogers on the mound. And here's an open triangle single, 1-19. And a 20. Wow. Bad luck for the Expos there. 1-19 base hit, and we get a 20. Second out. Warren Cromartie, another good hitter. 4-7, and that's a walk. So first and second, 2 out. Carlton, quite frankly, is lucky. Could have been worse. And here's Rogers, who wasn't much of a hitter. Just got that lonely walk in column 2. But he can get something off the pitcher's card. And he might. Nope, just misses. Fly out, and that's going to end the inning. Just missed it. And we're going to go to the bottom of the second. Phillies lead it 1-0. Tommy Hutton will lead it off. And there's a grounder to short. 1 out. And that'll bring up Ted Sizemore, second baseman. 1-8. And that's a base hit. Not too much of a runner, but if he gets the lead, he's not too bad. Here's Timmy McCarver. He was kind of Steve Carlton's regular catcher, so he plays, and he's a pretty good hitter, especially against right-hand pitching. And here is a single, but only on a 1. So the opposite of what happened with the Expos, where they got the 20. They need a 1 here, but they don't get it. Line out. Phillies won 101 games in 1977 to win the NL East. Here's Lefty, and Lefty could hit a little bit. You see that nice column too. So Lefty can hit. He's no automatic out. 6-5, and here's an end home run, and he has end power. 1-4. But a 5, that's going to be a possible home run? No, it's extra base hit, runner on first. It has to be a fly out for that to happen. Man on first can try to score. 55%. With 2 out and Maddox coming up. Let's try it. Let's try and get it. I mean, this is kind of a gift getting Carlton to hit the double, so let's see if we can score him. It's going to be 1-11. We will hold the trail runner. And it's 1-11 and a 1. Look at this. They safe easily. So Carlton helps himself, and it's 2-0. Runner on second, and here is Maddox. 1 for 1. And now make it 2 for 2. Now Carlton trying to score 70%. Just don't get into a collision and get injured. But we're going to try it. Throw coming home. Here we're going to send the trailing runner. 65%. Maybe they'll try and get him. They should go for Carlton. Throw not cut off. And it's 1-14 safe. And a 19. And the Phillies' luck runs out on the split D20. So it's 2-0 going to the third. Cash will lead it off again. He's 1 for 1. 4-5 struck him out. 1 out. The Expos were 75 and 87, despite a lot of good hitters in their lineup. And a pretty good number 1 starter, too. Here's a strikeout again. Foley. It's 2 out for Valentine. 2-6 is a grounder to short, so easy inning for Carlton. It's 2-0 bottom 3. Pirates finished second in the East that year, 96 and 66. Expos only finished ahead of the Mets, Mets were 64 and 98. Larry Boa batting against Rogers here. He sacrificed his first time up, and he's going to get a base hit here, and he can run. He's going to try and get a lead. Schmidt up, but Boa's going to try and get a jump. 80% if he can get it, and unable to get the lead. So runner on first. He'll stay there for Schmidt. 4-9 is a grounder to short and a double play. So not getting the lead there was costly. 2 out, nobody on for the Bull, Greg Luzinski. 111, just missed that home run, but he gets a double. It's his second double, isn't it, of the game? He's on second with 2 out for Jay Johnstone. 5-9 struck him out, so they're going to strand him there. Of course, the Phillies always had trouble getting by the Dodgers in those late 70s, 77, 78. Here's Tony Perez. Dodgers won the West easily over the Reds. And then, of course, the Yankees and Royals were always battling in the American League back then, with the Yankees usually getting the upper hand. Here's Parrish with 1 out, nobody on. And there's a grounder to short, and he makes the play. Red Sox finished second in 77, as well as the Orioles. They were both 97 and 64, 2.5 games back of the Yankees. Here's Carter, 2 out, nobody on, and the Royals easily won the West over the Rangers. And there's going to be a base hit, could be a double. And of course the Yankees beat the Royals, the Dodgers beat the Phillies, and then the Yankees beat the Dodgers in 77. There's a double for Carter. 2 out for Dawson. And there's a possible hit, 1-3. Look at this offensive team for the Expos, and they should have probably won more games. But there's a ground out, so they're going to strand the runner. But they were minus 71 on the run differential, so probably didn't get enough pitching. Tommy Hutton will lead it off here for the Phils. It's 2-0. Let's take a look at that 77 Expos team. As we get a ground out from Hutton, and there's 1 out for Sizemore. And a fly out, 2 out. So we got a 2-0 game here. Still anybody's game. Tim McCarver, 0 for 1 against Rogers. And he's going to pop up to first. So that is a quick inning. Go to the 5th, and Cromartie leads it off. And he's got himself a base hit. So Cromartie's on first. And the pitcher is up. Do we have the corners in? Yeah, the computer has already put the corners in. Casey bunts. Going to try and get a lead first, but he doesn't do it. So now with the corners in, he is bunting. And it's successful. Runner on second with 1 out for Dave Cash. And that is a fly to center. So 2 out runner on second for Foley. For 10 center field X and a fly out. That's a big play there by Maddox. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th. Lefty leads it off. Remember, lefty can hit. And there you go. Base hit for Steve Carlton. He's 2 for 2 in the game. And that's going to bring up Maddox with a runner on first. We'll just let Maddox swing here. And that's a possible hit, 1-17. And he gets it, base hit. Yeah, taking a look at the Expos rotation, I mean, other than Rogers, lead runner, we're going to hold. Other than Rogers, it was a little thin with Jackie Brown, Wayne Twitchell, and Stan Bonson, all with ERAs over 4. Here we got first and second, nobody out for Larry Boa. Pretty good spot to try and get the runners over here for the big guys, Schmidt and Luzinski. And he does it. So second and third, 1 out now for Schmidt. Pitching to him, and a 3-9. There it is, Mike Schmidt's first home run of the year in 1977. It's a 3-run blast, and it opens this game up 5-0. Phillies lead it. Mike Schmidt connects for his first home run. Here is Luzinski. And that's a possible hit. 1-8. And a 15, he's out. Bullpen for the Expos wasn't too bad. Here's John Stone with 2 out. Kerrigan, Stanhouse. They had Will McEnany, Bill Atkinson. They had a pretty good bullpen. Base hit there for John Stone with 2 outs. That'll bring up Tommy Hutton. But didn't have the best starting after you get by Rogers. Here's a ballpark again, 1-8. And a base hit. So with 2 outs, Rogers getting into even more trouble. We're going to hold with 2 out. And that'll bring up Ted Sizemore. Stanhouse did start 16 games, so he was somewhat effective in the starting role as well, I guess. There's a ground out. That ends it. It's 5-0 going to the 6th. Valentine will bat against Carlton. And 1-8, that's going to be a possible triple, 1-2. And it is a triple with a 2. Ellis Valentine leads off with a triple here. Expos trying to get on the board. Obviously, we'll stay back. We don't care too much about that run right here. We want to get an out, and it's Tony Perez. 5-8, and he flies to center, but that's going to be a sac fly, and it's going to score the run. So it is 5-1. Expos get on the board against Carlton. Here's Parrish. 1 out, nobody on, though, now. And a 4-11 to left field X, and a fly out to Luzinski. 2 out for Carter. And a 1-8 is a strikeout. So Carlton does give up a run, but we're going bottom 6, 5-1 Phils. And Tim McCarver will lead it off. Carter hit 31 homers. Ellis Valentine hit 25. There's a walk from McCarver. Tony Perez hit 19, drove in 90 runs. Dawson hit 19, so they had some offense. Here's Carlton, runner on first. He's a good hitter, but let's try and get the runner over. Oh, and a wild pitch. So now we're just going to let Carlton swing. Runner on second, nobody out. He's a good enough hitter. Let's just let him hit now. And 2-9 is a walk. So first and second, nobody out. And that'll be bring up Max. Here we're just going to swing up 5-1. 2-7, possible hit, 1-10. And it is a base hit. Nobody's out, so good chance we're just holding here, and we are. Bases loaded. Set up the merry-go-round here. Nobody out for Boa. Bases loaded. Rogers is still out there. 3-3 is a line out. 1 out. Rogers is a 7-inning starter. Here's Schmidt, who homered last time up, his first homer of the year. 3-run shot. And here's a fly to right, but that's going to drive in the run. Well, actually, they're not giving you the automatic here. They're making it a choice. Fly out runner. Oh, no, he does score automatically. This is for the runner on second. I thought there was a fly ball B. So he does get the sac fly. No reason to go to third there. So he does get the sac fly. So that's his 4th RBI. And it's 6-1. First and second, 2 out for Luzinski. Looking for his first homer of the year. And he might have it, and he does. Luzinski with a 3-run homer. So Schmidt and Luzinski both with 3-run homers in this game, and the Phillies on opening day lead it 9-1. And somehow Steve Rogers is still out there. There we go. Now that was enough to get Rogers out and Turpko in. And Johnstone will bat, and he'll ground the first. But the Phillies get 3-run bombs from Schmidt and Luzinski and lead it 9-1. Not a good day for Rogers. Now Carlton on cruise control here to Dawson. And there's a center field X and a fly out, 1 out. So he's in total control at this point. Cromartie. Good opening day so far for the Phillies. And that's a fly to center. There are 2 out for, and Wayne Garrett will bat lefty versus lefty, and now he's going to get pinch hit. Pepe Frias. I remember 1 year I was collecting baseball cards and I could not get Pepe Frias for some reason. I had to end up making a trade for him. 1-3 and a grounder to the pitcher, so 7th inning stretch time with the Phillies up 9-1. Tommy Hutton will lead it off. No reason to make any changes right now. 1-8, and there's a walk. Runner on first, nobody out for Sizemore. He's just going to be swinging with the 9-1 lead, and the ball gets away from the catcher. Pass ball, runner on second. Things going from bad to worse here for the Expos. And the pitch is now in the dirt, so Turfco having some trouble. It's a pass ball and a wild pitch. There's a runner on third, nobody out. Phillies trying to get into double digits. And there's a walk. First and third. Looking at this Phillies team, Schmidt and Luzinski. Schmidt hit 38 and Luzinski hit 39. Luzinski drove in 130 runs. First and third, nobody out from McCarver. Luzinski hit 309. I mean, Luzinski numbers-wise had a better year than Schmidt in 77. And meanwhile, there's a double for McCarver, and this is just getting worse and worse. Second and third, nobody out. It's 10-1. Carlton will bat and swing. And that's a strikeout, 1 out. We got 11 homers from Boone, who's not even in the game today. Here's Maddox. Second and third, 1 out. Hebner hit 18. There's a walk. The bases are going to be loaded. Maddox hit 14. Johnstone hit 15. Bake McBride, who's not playing, hit 11. Bases loaded, 1 out for Boa. It's 10-1 Phillies. And a 3-7 is a possible hit, 1-17. Base hit there for Boa, and this gets really bad. Expos need to put in a position player to pitch here. It's 11-1. Schmidt, bases loaded, 1 out. 1 for 3 with a 3-run homer. And a 2-9, and he finds the strikeout in amongst a bunch of walks. 2 out for the Bull, Greg Luzinski. He's got a 3-run homer in the game, and a walk. He's in the right column for a granny, but he gets the walk and another RBI. It's 12-1. Jay Johnstone will bat. And now we get Bill Atkinson coming in. Probably not too thrilled to have to be in this cleanup role here in this game. 5-7 struck him out, though. So we will go to the 8th with the Expos trailing 12-1 here on opening day. Dave Cash will lead it off against Carlton. And he'll walk. Carlton's an 8-inning starter. Here's Foley. And there's a grounded to short X and a double play on a rare play. Interesting. A double play on a rare play there. 2 out, and Elvis Valentine will be up. And there's a first base X, and that's it. Bottom 8. We're going 12-1. Looks like Luzinski was the only regular. Bake McBride hit 339, and Luzinski hit 309. Here's Tommy Hutton, and a couple of other guys who didn't play as regularly hit over 300, but most averages were in the 200s, 280s, 270s. Hutton's out, 1 out on a fly out. Here's Sizemore. McCarver hit 320. McCarver had a good offensive year. There's a ground out. 2 out, and that'll bring up McCarver. And a 3-4 is a grounder back to the pitcher. So we go to the 9th. Davey Johnson had a decent year in limited at-bats too, 320. 400 on both McCarver and Johnson had over 400 on-base percentages. All right, Tony Perez. Carlton's trying to pitch a complete game here. And he gets off to a good start as he strikes out Perez. 1 out. He's 2 outs away from a complete game. Just has that one blemish, that run, the leadoff triple, and then the sac fly. We're going to get Del Unser batting for the pitcher, Atkinson. Still lefty here, but he's got a decent column 1, and there's a fly to center. So Carlton's 1 out away from wrapping this up. What a good opening day for the Phillies. 3-run home runs from Schmidt and Luzinski. They lead it 12-1. Gary Carter. And a 5/8's a fly to center, and lefty does it. He completes the game, gives up 1 run on 5 hits. And the Phillies have a great opening day. So this 77 season starts off the right way. Maddox was 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored. Boa was 2 for 3. Also, I think he had a couple of sacrifices. Schmidt went 1 for 4, but it was a 3-run homer, and he had drove in 4. Luzinski was 3 for 4 with 5 ribbies and a home run, a 3-run homer himself. They got Carlton even went 2 for 3 to help himself. Carlton 5 hits, 9 innings, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Rogers wasn't his day. Gave up 14 hits and 9 runs. He's not going to be too happy for being left out there. And then Turco wasn't much better. Atkinson came in and settled things down. But a very good opening day for the Phillies and a good start to this 77 Phillies season as they win it in a rout over the Expos. All right, thanks for watching.